Hello, Oracles. Well, we've got Tesla stock consolidating nicely. So we've been trading between that $223 and $230 level. So I had mentioned it last week how we kind of been bouncing between the two. 223 had been a very strong resistance level for us before. We broke through that, hit 230, and that's been another strong resistance. Now 223 is acting as that strong support. So we're in that nice little channel right now. We're waiting for something that is going to come in and break us out or break us down. We could go one way or the other. So things that we have going on this week that could potentially move us one way or the other, it's going to be the interest rates going up. On Wednesday, we are going to be getting the next interest rate hike from the Fed. As of right now, we are anticipating a 75 basis point hike. However, if the Fed comes in with a 50 basis point hike, I can almost guarantee that we are going to break out and run up even further. We'll most likely fill that gap at 235, might even end up running up to that gap at 265. There are some words out there in speculation that if we do end up getting that 50 basis point hike, we could potentially see a 10% move in the entire market upward. So in turn, that would mean that Tesla could potentially move up 20% based upon its beta, which is just around 2. So when we are discussing the potential breakout, what do I mean by that? So when I look at the charts, I'm looking at the fact that we have been in this downward trend right here. And when we start to break out of that downward trend, so we had seen that get really close the last few days, and now today we have broken past that. I'd like to see something a little bit stronger. I would like to see us break through this and actually break that $230 level and close above it. That to me would confirm that we have made that breakout. Now we've seen breakouts in the past and we break out and then we end up doing a dead cat bounce down. So that's always a potential as well. But usually the indications are we are going to be breaking out and we could be going up further. Now, again, we've been talking about this inverse head and shoulders pattern. We have been seeing it continue. So here's the first shoulder. We are now forming the head, and the head coming up means that we would most likely come up and push close to that 313 level again. If that's the case, that means that over the next couple of months or month and a half or so, we would see quite a bit of a run up. We would hit that level, bounce off, and then create the other shoulder. A long way to go till we get there, but that's just something I am paying attention to at the moment. You can see we're basically mirroring the other side right here. So that leads me to believe that we could potentially be running up and maybe over the next week end up filling that gap over to 265. Just things that I'm watching. Volume today came in around that 61 million share mark, so a lot less than normal. Normal's around that 75 to 80 million shares trading hands. We do have an RSI of 44.72, so that's right. It's a little bit lower than mid-range, so on the lower end of mid-range right there. So we've got some room to run. If we look back over to here, where we had the RSI when we were at that 313 level, we were around that 63 mark. So around 63 for the RSI. So we've got some room that we can potentially run up. Now, some other news that we had gotten today was Tesla coming out with the backlog that we have been tracking for the last few months. So looking right now, the backlog is down to 282,000 units from 299,000 units from September 30th to October 14th. So 2 weeks it's come down. But as Troy had stated here, the drop happened mostly in the US where deliveries continue at full speed. This update was before the pricing drop in China, which happened on October 24th. So looking at that, the fact that this does not include that news that we got from the 25,000 to 30,000 orders that came pumping in from China over the last week. So I have no doubt we are going to see a number actually ticking up on this on Troy's next report. So we'll pay attention to that and I'll keep tracking this with you guys because that's very important to see this backlog climbing back up again. Now, don't forget, we do have the EV tax credit coming up for the US coming next year. I have a feeling at that point, we are definitely going to be seeing this backlog climbing even higher. Now, when it comes to my vehicle alone, I gave that video to you guys over the weekend. So right now I'm in a holding pattern until November 5th. As of November 5th, I will be assigned a new VIN. At that point there, I will have to make the decision whether I'm going to take the delivery or if I'm going to push it off again. I am going to push it off again. I've mentioned this to you guys before, that I'm going to push it off, and if I have to push it off, they tell me that it's going to be canceled. So it's going to be canceled, so be it, not a big deal. I'm going to see how far I can push it. I'll see when they do assign me that next VIN, and at that point, I'll see what I'm going to do. My thoughts right now, I'm kind of up in the air about, do I push it off and then reorder right now? Do I wait a couple of months and see what's going to happen with the Cybertruck? Are they going to have that order page come up? I do already have my order in there for it. So I've got my reservation, but I'm kind of far down on the list, probably about the 1.2 million mark. So I know I'm not going to get it for a while, but if they're going to be prioritizing all of the high-end vehicles, I may go with the highest trim depending on what the price is. Maybe I'll get it sooner and maybe I'll just forego the Model Y and go straight to the Cybertruck. A lot of decisions that are awesome that I get to make, but this is just something I'm going to be watching along the way, and I'll let you guys know what I end up coming up with because I'll be doing it here with you guys live. I'll probably actually, at that point, I'll just do the whole entire ordering live with you guys so you can see it. Now, another little piece of information that we had gotten today was US plug-in sales year to date for 2022. So who is the leader? Oh, that's right, Tesla. With the Model Y at 97,642 vehicles. Model 3 is second with 66,482. The Mustang Mach-E comes in third place with 10,539. So when it comes to first and second place, Tesla dominates. The Mach-E is coming in at a third place with 10,000. That is 1/6 of what Tesla is producing for their second place spot. So right now, Tesla is just dominating the market. We knew this. Now this chart here is showing exactly how far ahead Tesla is from everyone else. Now, when it comes to the Model Y growth, we are expecting that to grow even more next year. Model 3 will grow as well, but I have a feeling the Model Y is going to be running away from the Model 3 even more. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Mustang Mach-E, but again, I'm on board with all of these. All these companies who want to push out their EVs and get them going, that's going to help the world transition even faster. We've been talking about how EV adoption is speeding up faster than most people thought, and we're hitting that valley of death a lot sooner. So we're hitting that valley of death, and the valley of death is this time frame for about 3 years or so where most people want EVs and the demand for EVs is a lot higher than the production is for EVs. So it's going to be whoever produces the most is going to be the winner. And Tesla clearly right now is the one who is producing the most. They've been doing it the longest and they are the most efficient at doing it. They have the most experience. So going through this valley of death time when production is key and vital, Tesla is going to be in that prime position to be able to take them over. So to me, the next 3 to 5 years are going to be ideal for Tesla investors because we are just going to be seeing the stock price take off because Tesla is going to be dominating the market as we transition to EVs. And here is that valley of death chart that I was talking about with you guys. So right here is that valley of death. So again, this is where we're going to see a demand for EVs climbing up, but there's just not going to be enough production. People are going to want EVs, but there's just not enough produced. So Tesla is going to be pumping out the most EVs possible as we transition over. And based on this chart here, it's around 2027, 2028, we finally start to climb back out of it a little bit. It might end up happening a little bit sooner than that. It really comes down to production. Whoever can produce the most, how quickly can Tesla produce? And one thing I was discussing with Farzad was maybe we were going to see a bunch of factories coming up from Tesla over the next 3 years, maybe pump out 6 or 7 factories. He made a great point about the fact that it's not just as the matter of putting up the buildings and actually getting production started. It's the culture within the company itself. And that is so vital. The reason Tesla can do what they do is because they have the culture in every single one of their factories to go out there and produce the most vehicles as quickly and efficiently as possible with the best quality that they can. So for me, thinking about the fact that we might get 7 factories, they would end up sacrificing the culture. And that is the last thing that they want to sacrifice in getting all these factories built. Because if you're going to put up 7 factories, but have some of them just completely underperform because of the fact that you didn't have the culture built, that's going to be very detrimental to your business and you don't want that. So maybe we only see 4 factories get built over the next 5 years, but that's still 4 factories more than everyone else. Maybe there's 1 or 2 factories coming up for other manufacturers. Tesla already has 4. They're probably going to be doubling that by the time we hit 2025. We're most likely going to be hearing about at least 1 factory, if not 2, by the end of the year. I'm guessing we're going to hear about 1 before we end up getting to the end of November. My guess is Canada. You guys can let me know in the comments below where you think we are going to see the next factory. And we also got official word that the Model S and Model X are going to be debuting over in China on November 5th. Here's a little clip to show what their advertisement is for this show.
We got to show this can be the fastest cars, can be the safest cars, can be the most kick-ass cars in every way. We've gone black speed.
And now it also sounds like they're going to be showcasing Optimus at this show as well. So very exciting going on this week over in China. Now, of course, we are looking at, the Model S and the Model X, not the biggest sellers, but they're high margin vehicles, and being able to get them over into the largest market in the world of China is going to be a big move for Tesla. So we'll see how this is going to affect their numbers going forward. I don't know when they're going to start doing deliveries of them. Maybe it is on November 5th. I don't have the details on that. If you guys do, please share them in the comments. But either way, going into Q1 of next year, I have no doubt we'll be seeing deliveries of the Model S and the Model X over there. So we could see margins pushing up over in China, as China's margins are usually lower since they sell more of the lower end vehicles like the Model 3. So we're probably going to see margins push up over there, and we'll see how that affects Q1 numbers. And lastly, for the day, we've got Sawyer Merritt was tweeting out the other day about Berlin and an expansion going on over there. Tesla has already prepared an application that would see a further 70 hectares or 172 acres of land to be cleared. So we'll see what this is going to mean, what they're going to be putting out for another expansion over there. Chances are it's going to be for another model. We know that the lower priced vehicle is coming. That is going to be ideal, especially if it's a compact size car, which most likely it will be. That is ideal for over in Europe. So I have no doubt that the expansion that they're going to be putting up in Berlin will be pumping out that vehicle. I don't know what the other one will be for. Who knows? But they're looking on expansions. And every time Tesla does expansions at their factories, that means more production for the future. More production, as we talked about earlier with the Valley of Death, just means that they're going to succeed even more than everyone else because they're already expanding on their factories. Building a whole new factory from the ground up does take a little bit more time than putting up an expansion. Expansion's still going to take time. It's still construction. You still have to go through all of the, the hoopla, and who knows what's going to happen over in Berlin when it comes to red tape. But we are still seeing expansions coming up on the factories, while other competitors really don't even have factories up and running fully yet. So all in all, today was very nice. It was nice to see Tesla outperforming the market, despite the fact that we were down almost 0.5%. The market itself was down about 1%. So when you're down 1% and Tesla's only down 0.5%, and Tesla's beta is about a 2, that means that we did a great outperformance on the day. This just shows the strong consolidation that we are seeing at the moment. So again, we are just anticipating whether we're going to break out or break down. I really do think that the FOMC meeting and the interest rates going up on Wednesday are going to determine whether we're going to do that breakout or breakdown. You guys can let me know in the comments below which way you think we are going to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. I share over there a bunch of spreadsheets that come down to what I have for Tesla price targets, production and delivery forecasts, my valuation model. I put up there all of my expenses as well so that you guys can see what I'm doing to help my finances to be able to invest more into Tesla also. And those links are down in the description as well. Thank you all so much. Have a great one.